day I was chilling at home when I unexpectedly got a knock on the front door. My mobile home in the 313. I assumed the knock was from my landlord, which I had forgotten to pay for the last 6 months, so I pretended to be not him by remaining completely silent and dropping low to the floor. But my scheme didn't work on the man outside, because I was watching Family Feud at full volume on my 1960s black and white television, and he could hear it clear as day from the other side of the thin tin walls of my trailer. The man outside asked if anybody was here, and upon hearing his voice I realized whoever was at the door was nobody that I could recognize from their voice alone. So I got up from the floor and shuffled over to the door, where I asked politely who they were as I kneeled down and looked at the keyhole of the trailer door. Turns out the man outside practically had his chest pressed up against the door, and so I couldn't see anything but one of his hips through the keyhole. The day was a very hot day in the height of the summer. The man outside had on a long sleeve button shirt and a pair of lights and khakis, which was very but honestly I respected how he wore his Sunday best to talk to some bum who lives in a glorified landfill. So I instantly trusted whatever this guy was about to say. The dude on the other end asked if he could talk to Mr. Shady with the first name of Slim, which I replied to and told him that he had the right yet before opening the door. When I opened the door, I met face to face with the man outside who looked like he hadn't slept for weeks and had an ad pressed to his throat. Looking behind him, I saw that the guy holding the knife was my god, the landlord, who threw the guy to his side and stepped up to me with the stench of liquor and death on his lips. The guy threw away, picked himself up from the dirt and scampered away to the woods behind my trailer, crying his eyes out the entire way. My landlord told me in words Mom says I'm not allowed to repeat, that he was frankly sick and tired of my performing and that I were to either leave my home now and never return, or he forcefully threw me out with his bare hands. In the heat of the moment, I tried to do a ninja roll between his legs and hit him in the back of the head before he had even realized what had happened. But I completely forgot that my mobile home was slightly elevated off the ground, so when I tried to roll, I ended up tumbling down the 3 stairs that led up to the door and breaking one of my fingers on my left hand in the fall. My landlord took advantage while I was distracted to run inside my trailer and lock the door behind him, which I took as more of an insult than anything. Luckily for me, I always keep a spare locket underneath my trailer, hidden in a small box painted to look like dirt just for an occasion like this, which I grabbed and attempted to crack open the lock without my landlord hearing me. My landlord must have been listening for me to hear if I had left, or because as soon as I inserted the pick into the lock, he manually unlocked the door from the other end and kicked the door into my face at full force, sending me tumbling down the 3 stairs and breaking the exact same finger as before. But on the other hand, moral of the story, Family Feud is a terrible show.